for like an hour. Okay. And then I realized at the end, I'm like, pretty sure since there's like not one soul on here with me by that point, right? That I definitely did not take the settings off of private. So no one, and I checked, of course, way after the fact, no one could see that I was on the live stream. So there's that. Had a lot of fun without you, just saying. So now it's like 1 a.m. my time, and I'm on the East Coast, right, of the United States, to be clear. And all I have to say is, oops. And please and thank you. You guys check out that live stream when I can actually publish it. Just so you guys know what's going on, I thought maybe I would hop on to see if anybody was actually on, available to come on to even know what the heck just happened. Also, I kind of low-key needed to talk about it because I'm like, I can't even believe that just happened. Oh my gosh. For like an hour. Anywho, nothing just happened. So, you guys, I thought maybe I would take a look to see um oh, I can't, where's the deck? Hold on 1 second. I'm looking for like this one particular deck to see what messages we can get from somebody. Anybody? No, not anybody. Not anybody. All right. I found the deck, sort of. So, since it's late, I'm just going to see if somebody wants to talk. All right. In the meantime, you guys, if you have any questions, right, and you know what to do about that, please go ahead and pop it in the chat, because I'm really not going to be on here too long, right? Because like I said, I just finished session. But so sorry, you guys. I meant to include you, obviously, in on that session, and I just didn't realize. I just opened the channel and went, and then like an hour later, I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. So let's see here. Somebody might be wondering if somebody really thought that they were just a fling or not. Because that's all I was. Whole time, somebody finds you incredibly attractive. For some of you, they maybe just gave in to temptation because it was there. Not an excuse, to be clear, right? That's what's coming through the channeling. Me personally, I'm like, what? Something ain't sounding right. But somebody is at a long distance, okay? Whether this is like physically or energetically, right? To be clear, but they're reminiscing. Whole time, you maybe don't even know that because everything was one-sided. It's like, you're so great. And they're like, yeah. And you're all like, I really enjoyed the time that we share together. And they're all like, all right, I'll see you. Right? Like that kind of vibes. This could be your twin flame. They could have said, well, I'm not really ready. I'm not really looking for, you know, what. Old time they knew how to look for that. But is that it? Right? Yeah. So somebody's thinking this is the end. Although I'm not really getting that that's from. This could be in this on the strength that, you know, you literally moved on. This could be continuation of the message that I did just kind of lay out. Which is interesting because this is a new deck, right? But this person has commitment issues, and they were pretending to be someone else. And they're saying, please forgive me. Somehow, y'all got some 5D connection. If you don't want to say it's a twin flame, maybe it's a 5D fling. No, let me stop. Is that a thing? A fling in the 5D? I'm not sure about that one. This person saying, I love you. All right. And they want to start over. Ooh. Let's see what the, I don't know, I'm being guided to go to the Romance Angels section of my corner over here. Corner Kubi. Maybe somebody knows somebody from work, and there's like a significance to a corner could be, right? Like maybe somebody has a corner cubicle, whether you work with them or not, you know this. Doesn't have to be the case. Okay, you guys, somebody could have connection to the Fae too. Because I'm trying to hit up the angel section, and the Fae are like, oh, but the Fae. And I'm like, okay, listen, it's late, right? Finances and career definitely affecting the connection. So whether this is on one or everybody's side here, okay? No judgment, just saying. Could be. I don't want to make it all about like one person when it could be more than one. So they definitely do want this new stirred up commitment. They're definitely trying to in the 5D stir up some Love and Light Amy in the 5D stir up some feelings and responses, I'm hearing to say. Yeah, and to be clear, okay, the new love card came out first. All right, but it's really talking about reconciliation with this person. Love and Light, kick it with Jay. Love and Light, you guys. Guys, how about this? I literally was on here for like an hour, and then I realized at the end of the live stream, the thing was on private. So, and I can't even publish it right away. So I just popped on just to see if you guys had questions, you know, put them in the chat. Because it's really late, and I'm not going to be on here like a long time because I already did the damn thing. No, let me stop. But I felt really bad. I was like, oh no, I didn't mean to like actually cut out the collective participation. Duh. So please and thank you guys. Look for that live stream once it publishes because you know, maybe something's in there. Okay. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't a session for everybody and their mother kind of thing, but like maybe there's like something there, you know, and we were talking love. Okay. Love and Light Queen Libra. So you guys, please, I know it's late and I know I'm saying like, just give me your question. I still need you guys to follow the rules. All right. So please follow the rules for the live stream so that I can give you your free yes, no tarot. And then I know you're actually part of the collective and like for the mission, all of that jazz, right? That you subscribed and that you've hit the like and that you're asking me the question the way that I need the question asked so that I can just bang it out for you because I'm not here not to read your cards, you guys. But I need you guys to follow the rules in order for me to do that, okay? So much love and light, and I do appreciate you guys doing your part. Doesn't really work so well without you guys, even though I literally was like 56 minutes in, and I was like, oh, what do you mean? There's like literally no one on here. So that was awkward. But you guys, I can't publish it any faster, so I just had to like end the live stream, and you know, gotta wait for it to cycle through or whatever the heck. I don't know. So once I get permission from YouTube that I can air it, all right, it will be aired. You guys, please and thank you. Check it out. Thank you. Okay. I felt really bad because I was like, it's been a while since I've been able to come on the live stream. And I was wondering, I was like, why are there like just crickets in the peanut gallery kind of thing? Like, here they were coming from the yard even. No, let me stop. But so getting back to this energy, all right, long story short, um, I don't know if that's Janae Aiko. You got to stay ready. It's like, get ready so you can stay ready so that you don't have to waste time being ready. Okay. And really what that means is not really like in anticipation for this person to, oh, it's going to be perfect. I'm going to have pink on. He's going to have black, right? Like, you don't have to do all of that. It's really just about like a mentality and understanding and a vibe. Like, it's like, yes, that is my person. Like, and this is me. And fabulosity, right? Like, don't make any kind of like form of separation an issue when really, long story short, especially if you are actually subscribed to the Twin Flame Journey and you know this, right? And you guys check out the message, of course, to be clear, so you know exactly what more I'm talking about, but there's really no separation there anyway. So the more you can like realize that, the easier it is to be chill about some of those instances where you want to not be so chill. You want to have them, you want to be held, and you want to speak, and I get it. Okay, I get it on a very personal note. However, you can't force another person's free will, even if they're you through another meat vessel. All right. Long story short, it's not loving to do that anyhow, even if you could. Okay. So maybe work on being more loving towards yourselves, you guys, if some of that hit, okay, if some of that resonated, so that you can, really be ready for this person to come in and be like, okay, I get it. I understand the assignment. Because you don't want them to come back and they're all like, oh, what happened to you? What's the assignment? Like, what are we doing? Right? On the other side of divine timing that you swore up and down you were ready for, kind of thing. Right? I'm not here suggesting that you're not ready. But what I am here to do is to suggest that your competition at this literally has to stay on your side of things here, with you to you, from you to you, okay? Not really ping ponging back and forth between, twin number one side of the court and the other twin side, right? Because it's not really a contest. And I think sometimes you guys, especially with twin flames, that's sometimes hard to see. I do often hear, quite unfortunately, that there is such a thing as like competition, okay, especially involving divine masculines, okay. It's a lot to be a divine masculine, I get it, okay, to some degree. I mean, I don't um but just looking at some of the programming alone that they've been under rapid fire basically about, okay, it's going to be about competition way before it's going to be about feelings and being open to them and honoring them proudly, right, without shame and stigma. So of course your twin could have a propensity every now and again, especially at the beginning when things are really raw and unknown, right, to really kind of get confused at some aspects of this. And it's like, okay, so if you're not with me, you're against me, kind of thing. And sometimes those waters kind of get muddied because of triggers, trauma, previous uh experiences with PTSD, etc. I mean, I'm not here like diagnosing anybody or anybody's somebody, right? It's just the fact of the matter is, if you are in an environment long enough that is not conducive towards your growth, towards your betterment, you're not necessarily going to be the first at being better, or, the first at being healthy necessarily. Because how do you know, perhaps, something is or isn't healthy until you've experienced it, or the outcomes of making certain choices, even, right? Experience. And so, long story short, honor the experience for what it is. I feel like when you focus there, it's it's allowing you to be a little less emotional, to the point where things can get muddied, at least on your side. Because the better that you get at remaining calm, holding on to your peace, right, the more power you do exude, and the more you are able to ultimately attract in, whether it's the love of your life or the love of your life. Okay, take the pressure off of it. Oh, it's got to be my person. It's got to be this twin. There are levels to this, okay, and even from one twin to the next, there are variations. There's ascension. All right, Mac Miller into this. Maybe somebody likes, but or not. Okay, and that's why we talk about divine timing. Love and light, Fiona, love and light, heavenly. So heavenly, please check out the description box, babe, for the live stream roles. Fiona, if you could be a dear and just copy that link, I'd really appreciate you. I really appreciate you coming on. It's so late. I didn't even expect that. And guess what? You guys, I just completed session. Basically, in a privatized situation. I had no idea that I wasn't on public live streaming. So I did like a whole private session. You guys have to give me time to publish that, because I'm required to wait myself. Okay, it's not a choice. But and maybe that's like synchronistic of this connection. It's like you feel like you've been doing the steps, and you feel like you've been ready to be ready to be ready, without being overly like dramatic, or overly like hesitant, or overly expectant. And that may very well be why we're talking about this person coming in. they've got their part to play in it too. All right, to be fair and to be loving. So that's basically what it seems like. Is this was a brief continuation of whom all we just looked at in that last live session that has yet to actually publish, you guys. So before I get off here, bell has officially rung. I'm gonna hydrate. Love and light, Teresa Horton. And you guys go on ahead according to the live stream rules. Thank you, Fiona, for popping in that handy dandy link on how to find the description box and then what to do and what the rules are and why you should be following the rules so that you can get what you came here to get. How about that, right? Much love and light, you guys. I missed you guys. I really did intend to have that last session with you guys too. And I really appreciate you guys coming on. It's so late. I didn't really expect that. But I thought, you know what, since I had come on to the live stream and made myself available, I wanted to be sure that there wasn't somebody out there with a question that I could answer quickly for them, since you are part of the collective and part of the mission. I love that. Our high vibe tribe. um, okay, now let's see. Okay, oh my goodness, you guys. Okay, let's see. So let me focus on Queen Libra, about Brian. Did I just channel that name, Brian? It's funny. We're getting a no on both sides of the board regarding that post. And you know what's crazy? In spite of that, there's still some sort of sleepless nights energy in spite of that no. And this particular no here with the Page of Swords is literally like um talking about like internet, like watching internet voyeurism, right? Watching social media. But there seems to be some sort of hesitancy to move on, and this cup seems to be something that on the other side of maybe with this death rebirth energy, right? On the other side of this separation energy, okay, could come back around. This person could be learning a karmic lesson of sorts here. This person could actually even be in spiritual jail at this point. Spiritual court. Hold on. So I don't know if they've committed some form of offense towards you in the literal or simply in the emotional sense. I say simply tongue in cheek. A lot of swords energy. So that tells me both sides are thinking a lot about the situation. You could have, you're coming out as the Empress, so I don't know if they see you as like mother of child worthy, or if you already went that route with them and that there is a child or children. If this isn't somebody's daddy, they think about it, because the Emperor came out with the King of Cups. Or this could have led to some animosity if they stepped outside of the connection. Either way, I do see communication coming in, and I do see that they are viewing you in a high light or a higher light, okay? And it seems to be the remorse, or how do I want to say this? It's like they know that the blame would lie with them before it would be with you, if that makes sense. All right, so, but it was a no as far as that post, though, babe, to be clear, okay? So that was for Queen Libra. Connection visual, please check the description box or that link, babe, that our moderator Fiona has kindly placed into the chat so you can play catch up and get your free reading. All right, because you guys, this is a one and it's so late. Long story short, I don't mean to come across like not appreciative, but what had happened, you guys, was I was on the live stream for like an hour and then I realized like, oh crap, I wasn't like in the public view. So I've been on here longer than what you're like having awareness of, to be clear, and not to come across rude or crass, because that's not my sentiment. And I do appreciate you guys. It's just very late for all of us, and I want all of us to go rest. How about that? But anyways, let me get these questions answered for you before I do. And love and light, Gary Arisi. All right, you guys, please check the description box so I can actually read your cards and get us all out of here so that we can rest, okay? Now, let me see here. We just did Queen Libra, okay? So it looks like the next person is Eat Me. All right, and let's see about this caregiver. Ooh. Well, that's a yes, okay? So I don't know if this is you communicating to hire or them communicating that you are able to hire, okay? I do see this is something that you're conflicted about in the sense that I don't know if you're having a hard time believing it could be. The case that you hire, but you do get justice. So that's your yes, okay? All right, so that's much love and light, Eat Me. All right, let me see your connection visual about Orlin on the door. Okay, let me see here. Does not want to speak. Hold on. I don't like this already. I'm like, do we have... Hold on, let me try. Okay, So we got 2 yeses come out and the 10 of swords at the bottom of the deck. So that tells me strategy, intent, and knowing damn well that they shouldn't have. Karma. Yeah. Sorry, babe. You don't deserve to be lied to. So now that you know that, it would behoove you well to access denied anyone who's lying to you. Because otherwise, you're telling yourself, you're telling the adult version of you, as well as your inner child, that it's okay, that I should expect people, even in caring connections, to lie to me, that I should expect people in my life to lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. That way you remove all the other liars. That's how karma can work too, in a great way. Really. You're very welcome, Eat Me. All right, now let's see here. So that's what I have for you, connection visual. Much love and light, babe. Okay. No, Queen Libra. If you know, unblocking is one thing, right? Because let's be adults. Like, I don't have a problem with that. There's no problem with that necessarily. Unless if on the other side of the unblocking, you've got to be the one chasing. Divine feminine energies, no, we don't have time to chase because we're too busy attracting. By doing all the things that make us feel good and make us like feel seen and heard, and that has to come from you first, boo, not anyone or anything outside of you first. And once you get the swing of that, you're going to be tested on that because others are going to come by. Oh, you loving on you more? Oh, you staying in your court, queen? Oh, you planting flowers in your garden? Well, I want to come by and I want to distract you, perhaps. Some, not all, right? And others are going to come, they're just really going to be inquisitive. Like, wow, like I see you've been planting gardens. I was thinking about planting garden. What kind of flower is that? Next thing you know, you've got hobbies, people, places, and things that you're mixing and integrating with because you're on your new type of timeline with the new version of you. Ain't nobody else competition anyways, right? And so long story short, all you're doing is definitely not wasting time in that kind of mindset and that kind of lifestyle, but you'd instead be what they consider attracting in the spiritual community. When they say don't chase, attract, right? You'd be attracting in not even just the love of your life, but everyone in it would also, you'd be attracting in a situation whereby they'd be worthy of being in your life, and they too would not be lying to you or using you or misusing you or your time, right? And so once you start making those sacrifices, like, oh no, I choose me, like I love me, right? It's not about hating anyone else. It's not about being better than anyone else. It's about protecting yourself the way that maybe you hadn't been protected. It's about speaking the words of love and affirmation into yourself, such to the point where you don't have a need for anyone else to do it. Now, if they do it too, cool. And then you can recognize that's real, right? Or you can recognize that's lip service. They're just trying to try me. You're utilizing your intuition at that point to help protect yourself, not ego, intuition. Ego goes like, F everybody, I'm just going to close down, I'm going to shut down altogether, all or nothing, right? And really, in that moment, you got to realize ego's doing its best to protect you or anyone else who can make sense of this, right? But ego left unchecked can also be just as harmful as somebody who really can have bad intent towards you. So you really got to check yourself, like who is that Ice Cube says, before you wreck yourself, kind of thing, right? And the more that you focus on you, babe, right? Not in some sort of narcissistic, like, look at me, look what I can do. I can't see anybody else. Nobody else is good. You know, no, no, no. But the more that you pour into yourself, the more you're just going to wake up one day and everyone else is in it to win it with you. And you don't have to chase them to be in that type of position, mindset, headspace, heart space about you or anything or anyone in general around you, because you will be in that vibrational frequency to be that match. And they either will be a match to you or not at all. And you'll be okay because you understand as long as you have you, you got more than enough. Right? So hopefully that makes sense for you and anyone else who's ever been there. Gosh, I feel like there's been plenty of us that have been there. Myself included, to be clear, no judgment. All right. Okay, let's see here, TT Wood. We got a yes. Seems like you have been doing the work. The only thing I see is that you gotta also keep up with that positivity. Like, yes, my yes is a yes. I've done the work. I'm capable. I've got this. I'm divinely guided. I am divinely supported. I'm divinely backed. It's interesting when you put these pictures together, it almost looks like here's you sitting under a tree and the divine's like, I've got your back even if you feel like your faith may be failing a bit. You've been doing the work and, you know, like you're fine, right? But don't let the headspace tell you something different to the point where you believe it and then live it out like actually disappointed on the other side, okay? I feel like that's kind of your answer every time you kind of ask about these tests. So, you know, work on that, babe, because, you know, maybe you just need a pep talk. I get that. But what I want you to know, just as importantly, is that you are capable of giving you that too, though. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying, to be clear, hon, I'm not saying it like, don't come on here and don't, you know, this isn't Tyler Tarot. Stop talking to me, right? Like, it's not that. I just want to make sure that you know, right? That you can empower yourself, even in those moments. Look at this. You got the High Priestess energy at the bottom of the deck now. Literally what I'm talking about, like you have the power of intellect as well as intuition. So please honor yourself as that, right? Like not everybody gets this kind of energy coming out anywhere near any of theirs when we're pulling the cards. Okay, so let this be like a visual, tangible evidence, if you will, right, of how you've got this. Okay, so please fear not and stop trying to sell yourself short. I mean, literally the High Priestess energy for me, my world with my decks, okay, and my understanding trumps the patriarchy attached to the deck, inclusive of the Hierophant energy. This is top tier upper echelon. This is like, yeah, this is the A section of all the students who passed out of this. You're in the A section, right? Right. All right, so just own it. It's okay. You got this. Oh my gosh, I watch Tyler as often as I can. So I don't mean it like that, but I'm just, I just didn't want to, you know, we all have our moments, but so there's that. I just, you know, I don't, my message just can't be his message, you know what I mean? So, and that's okay. We all got our part to play, you know what I mean? From one healer to the next. I mean, could you imagine if like every tarot reader had to talk the same way? You'd be like, oh, can you get to Pisces? Because this is the third reader of the day. And they all sound like, and next is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, it looks like you've got some money coming to you. Like, you know, you'd be like, you change the YouTube channel and it's like, and Pisces, you're like, ah, all sound the same and stuff. Different strokes for different folks for a reason. That's part of the divine blueprint and strategy. So I'm not unmindful of that. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, Fiona, stop talking to me. No, I'm just control that, dude. Let me stop. I'm getting giddy, you guys, because it's late. Okay. Let me focus. I'm gonna focus. So congratulations, Tay for passing that CNA. Yes, right? CNA would. Congratulations. And we've got Isha. Love and light. Okay, let me see about Ghazi Tamor. That's a really good question, Isha. It's a very adult-like question. I love to see that. Because sometimes I'm like, people come on and ask, does such and such like me? It's like, should you care, right? I don't like what I'm seeing here. So, we got this card in answer to the question, right? And you know the question. And it's giving maybe. But the thing is, this particular card in any tarot deck is talking about, like, lies, deception, treachery, like nothing really romantic there, okay? And a life partner, you kind of don't want any of that, you know what I mean? And then on the bottom of my deck, I'm looking at the Ten of Wands, which sometimes can mean positive, but when you put it with the very emphatic treachery, deceit-filled liar kind of card, it's giving, that's probably a connection that would have you fighting a lot. And it may not even be in the physical or verbal sense. It may be in the emotional sense. Fighting your sense of, I hate to say it, but like self-worth and capability. And nobody has time for that. I mean, you definitely don't want to make a baby with that kind of energy either. You know what I mean? Let me see. Yeah. See, I see that something is coming toward some blah, blah, blah. Hold on one second. So whatever kind of theme that you've been experiencing in this particular connection that you're asking about, and then also just in general, right? Because this Three of Swords is talking about heartache, grief, sorrow, sadness, okay? On the other side of you kind of really calling judgment about what you want access to and who you want to have access to you and why. So why would be not because they're making you feel small, not because you got to fight, right? Fight for their attention, fight for, your honor, fight for their honor kind of thing, right? Once you really get serious about like, okay, I'm in charge here as to what I accept in my love life, in my caring connections, right? Those that say they're for me, right? And being honest and calling judgment where that's found out to not be the case realistically. So, for instance, you find out that this person lied. Maybe it's a little lie. Well, here's the thing, those little lies add up. People that tell little lies all the time, they lie to themselves on top of lying to others. And so it can be a real slippery slope and not like a pleasant way when you get around people like that, whenever you attach your home, your sacred space, your money, all of that, children, all of those things, right? And I see, long story short, that, and this could even be, I was almost like, are we in September? No. What is time, right? This could even be somebody that comes to you or makes themselves known in September. Doesn't have to be the case, right? But this would also, to be clear, be on the other side of you calling judgment, balancing the way that you think in spite of the way that you feel towards others, right? So like you can love somebody and that person can wholeheartedly have an understanding that they too love you. And the way you love looks like, well, I take my time, I listen, I pay attention, I give gifts that I know is definitely something that, this person wants or has talked about, because again, you're paying attention. And this other person can say, well, I love you too. And they're of that mindset that that's what they believe. Okay, so this is why they're saying it. But the way that they love looks like, please don't bother me unless you need a bill paid, right? And I know a lot of us are going, oh, that'd be so great, right? It's not everything. Money's not everything. Just like love is not everything. And that's kind of what I'm getting at here with this example, too, because these two people say, I love each other, and it's not adding up to mean the same things, the same ways, the same services, the same mindsets, the same reciprocity, okay, the same consistency. And really, I see that that's something that is looking to meet you in a very successful and long-term manner, okay? Somebody that on top of the status, somebody that on top of the covenant, on top of the formalities, would actually work with you and inside of the connection, okay? All right, so hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully, you know, you really do. Love and light, Alphonse! Hopefully you really do take that into consideration, babe, because two people loving each other doesn't mean that they, like, can make it work necessarily. Because you know how many times people say, I love anything, right? Let alone you, let alone them, a person, an animal, a thing, an icon, a celebrity. And they don't know what love is. And how do you know, right? That's why it's so important, you guys, to really make sure that you know how to love you. You know what you like. You know what you don't like. And you don't settle for what you don't like. Because when you settle for what you don't like in any form or measure, you're telling yourself, inclusive of that inner child, this is what we deserve. And like, how are you going to sit there or stand there and tell yourself that you deserve something less than what you give with a straight face at this point? It's just, it shouldn't be a thing. You're looking for, at the very least, a partner, right? Well, partners, you know, they partner, they pair, and they communicate, and they tit for tat in like a positive way, an ebb and flow, right? Not just a one-sided, unrequited type of situation. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully you keep your boundaries about yourself for that, you guys. You got to really honor your worth. Now is the time, please. All right. So that's what I have regarding Orlin. Okay, let's see here, Kinza. Someone new. Ooh. Okay, so I do see someone watching you a little bit obsessively. This could be through means of social media, or means of community, like work, wherever you travel, okay? But the long story short is, though they see that you are, of course, wish fulfillment to them, there does seem to be another suitor that seems to be a better match coming, okay? Now, let's see here. This could be, you know, I want to craft this a certain way because I don't want to word curse. This could be, I'll say it this way, as soon as like January. The only reason why I say that is because on the other side of the energy comes the Ace of Wands, right? And then the offer of the Pentacles, which is a page of Pentacles, right? But the thing is, a lot of times when you go slow and steady, you win that race. You know what I'm saying? If something is so quick to get hot and heavy off the ground, it usually crashes and burns just as fast. Okay. Um, I do see that there are two people in your energy quite obsessively. One could be a Capricorn, but I feel like the energy is just talking about the consistency of the wondering about you. All right, whether this is from afar and you have no awareness from one of these energies to the next, or one over another, okay? But you're asking about somebody new, and somebody new is coming in with that offer from the Page of Pentacles on the other side of that new path, which really is a very divine breakthrough assisted type of new beginning, okay? So please don't fall prey to the illusion, dare I say delusion, that love doesn't exist for you, okay? Because it's very much coming in, unless and until you're going, no, it's not, everybody but me. It's probably not the truth. And, you know, because then you're punching that person away from you, okay? Even if by accident, just saying, when you do those kind of negative thoughts, okay? So, you know, gotta watch. All right. Okay, let's see. And let's see here. Kick it with Jay. Is D in his feeling about our friendship lately? Oh, wait, hold on. I skipped Fiona. I can't skip Fiona. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, it's Fiona and then Jay. Okay. Or kick it with Jay. Okay. Let's see about Jay out in the future. Fiona, to be clear. Sorry, kick it with Jay. I had to back it up there because I have this weird habit of skipping over Fiona. I'm not trying to do it tonight or this morning, whatever the time is. Okay, let's see. Wow, Fiona, like... Oh, so we got 2 no's. 1 second. We got the 9 of Swords coming out with the Page of Swords. And the bottom of the deck is 9 of Cups, which speaks on wish fulfillment. So let's be clear here. Oh, okay. I'm just getting that could be for your protection. I've got the 3 of Swords at the bottom of the deck and Judgment card coming back out. Could be a situation of not right time. Or it could be a situation of you just being protected. All right. It is part of a routine. No, I don't want to agree to that, Fiona. You deserve so much better. No, we're not going to. I'm not going to agree to a half-ass routine, Fiona. We can't do it, babe. We can't. Okay. But I know what you mean, though. Okay. And you're very welcome, TT Wood. And I'm sorry I didn't see you say that earlier. And Love and Light, I'm going to call you La. L-A-H. All right. Love and Light, babe. And Love and Light Alphonse, I'm doing great. I just had a whole freaking live stream by myself, like a puppet show, like about an hour ago. So your girl is doing the best she can. So, so there's that. I trust we all are doing the same, right? You're welcome, Fiona. Oh my gosh, that's so great, Alphonse. You're see, Alphonse can tell you just gotta stay positive. And you just got to do a little bit of work, not even everything, not even all the things, right? And things can change beautifully. Maybe not in an overnight situation, but maybe that's okay too, right? Love and Light, T. So T, check the description box, babe, because I'm going to hop off here soon, and I need you to know the live stream rules so I can answer your question, please and thank you, okay? All right, so let's get to Kick It with Jay in the meantime. All right, and then we'll swing back around to T. Oh, we got Alphonse as well. Hold on 1 second. Oh. All right, so we just, okay, we're going to do is D. Okay. We're going to do Kick It with Jay now regarding D, right? Did I skip over Kinza? Is that what happened? I just did Kinza's reading about somebody coming in. Well, someone new coming. Yeah, because I thought that was the one with the pentacles on the other side of the Ace of Wands. 2 people in the energy obsessively. Pretty sure that was Kinza. All right, but let's see here. I gotta concentrate on J. Kick It with J. Regarding D, please. Doesn't want to talk. See what I mean about the masculines? Whoo, send them some love light, right? Okay, here we go. Let's, come on now. Use your words, sir. Oh. Okay, let me see here. There's your yes. That's a very truth-filled yes. Okay. Did not want to come to the surface. You can get justice out of whatever this yes means to you. All right. But let's see. Maybe between now and September, you guys will be able to pick back up. Right? In like an even keeled, even Stevens type of situation. All right. Yeah, I just did. Yeah, I just did do Kinza. Yeah, that's what I thought, Fiona. Thank you, babe. Okay. So that, and then we did Kick It with Jay, right? And now we get to Alphonse finally. Okay, let's see here about Brandy. Ooh. Well, if you are ready to fight for the connection, right, then that's a yes. Okay. Just make sure, Alphonse, that you're balancing that pedestal, though. See what I mean? Also, with the Empress, there is the energy of pregnancy. Okay, but just make sure that if that move is a thing for you guys, that you don't allow for it to be a tool where you are so focused on Brandy that you're not, see how it's like, where are you in the picture? Well, even if this is you, you look a little distracted, right? And it's not even necessarily towards her, right? In the sense of energetically, you could be, I don't even want to word curse, but you know what we've talked, right? Just friendly reminder, don't place weight on Brandy that you wouldn't place onto yourself, in the sense of worth, in the sense of love, in the sense of truth and clarity, if that makes sense. Okay. And I see, as long as you're really willing to do the work, you know, it seems like it's a go. All right. In a good way. Alphonse, love and light to you and Brandy. That's so great. I'm so happy. You're giving me hope, Alphonse. Woohoo! I claim next. Yeah, you know what? They should call, they should text, they should, you know, but when you get into that type of thinking, you got to watch, because you're pulling yourself away from what you were doing. And so, just like I talked to one of the other beautiful souls on here, even tonight, this morning, whatever the hell, right? Um, about just doing you to the point where you attract in that version, even of themselves. Like, you don't necessarily want that same version, right? Like, once you've identified somebody, who cares if it's a twin flame, a soulmate, a baby daddy, or whatever, right? Or not, okay, to be like in that mofo, like red zone. You don't really want to go, can't wait to have another hot heaping helping of that stuff. Okay, straighten your crown and attract on. Worst case scenario, you're going to run into the love of your life anyways, even if it's not through them, their vessel, or any versions that they could ever come up with to become. All right, because at the end of the day, you guys, you're not here to be punished and like all alone and loveless. The divine, I mean, is born out of strong AF frequencies like authenticity and love. Go figure. You're not here to suffer alone and loveless. Makes sense? Okay, so once you kind of start facing some of those fears to the point where you're like, you can't even exist because you're so illogical. I'm so on point for this. We're not doing this. We're not fearing over this. You know, you start to really attract in, you know. I am grateful for the day that I personally, on a personal note, can share more than what I already know beyond that. But, you know, as far as like trying to hold your breath to wait for a twin flame or for anybody, guy, girl, what have you. Really, we're in a situation where not everybody's going where we're going. We're in a situation where we're building new earth. It's conscious based, right? You got a lot of stuff to do anyhow. And even if you're with this person, you have a lot of stuff to do anyhow, right? So take some solace in that. Like, maybe it doesn't seem so all or nothing when you realize you've got your own stuff to do anyhow, right? Just like Alphonse said, like, okay, like he and Brandy, right? Not to bring them into this, but I love to talk about it. And, you know, he's like, we both got our respective goals, right? It's not all about, you know, riding that double bike down to the beach. You know, it's not all about being seen together in every single place, having the same set of friends, right? Having the same meal, right? Or even meal times, you guys. Don't restrict yourselves into some box that never really needed to exist. And don't do that for you, let alone this person, your connection. Okay. I know you get it. Um, Kicking it with Jay. It's just anyone else on the live stream with us may also benefit from, you know, that type of sound advice. So hopefully that's making sense. Um, right. And I know what you're saying, Alphonse. This is healthy compared to, and that's because you've been doing the work. You have been attracting in your own situation, doing the things that, you know, we talked about, and, you know, Divine talked with you about, of course. And it just is what it is. And you guys, if you are working the program, working the steps, right, believing, you're going to achieve at this. There's really no other way around it, unless you want to not believe, which is your free will choice as well. But please don't complain then. Like, just don't believe that if that's what you're so stubborn about doing anyhow, right? All I'm saying is it would behoove you well to get stubborn in faith instead of just stubborn in stagnancy. Just saying, you guys. All right. Um. Okay. So let me see. Did I skip? 1 second. All right. So T, if you're with us, pop your question, babe. If not, did I skip Teresa? Oh my goodness. Let me see. Oh no. Wait. Let me see. Let me see. I saw her say hello, right? And then I don't see. Let me see here. Okay, here we go. Did my dad? How did I not see the whole paragraph? So sorry, babe. Like, oh no. Let me go back to it because I think either I bumped the screen or hold on 1 second, you guys. I gotta play catch up. I had it and then the thing jumped and now I'm like, where was the paragraph? I didn't even get to read it all. Okay, did my dad make me? Okay, okay. Okay. All right, let me find out. What I can say to that is if you have any idea or awareness, or if there was ever talk about any kind of like, okay, so like if there was an insurance policy, who like the name of the company that it might be through. Also, it's my understanding that there is some sort of like government site, and if you do like a Google search, because I don't have the site memorized, you should be able to find certain website or websites where you can check the database to see if there is a situation where it's like money was left to you and it just never like connected to you, is my understanding. But again, I don't know like the actual like .com or like .org or whatever it may be. But let's see here. And to be clear, if I read that question correctly, and forgive me if I didn't, it's kind of late, but um, the funeral home in normal course, now, unless this is like some sort of like extreme mom and pop situation where like the family knows the family, or excuse me, or the, what do you call it? The embalming, the funeral home, excuse me, the funeral home in normal course of business is not going to have any awareness of whether or not any money was left to you through any means of like estate law or estate filings normally, is my understanding, because they have nothing to do with that. um Unless and until you come to them and say, and cashing out like perhaps like insurance, like an insurance policy to pay for the funeral, right? But they're not going to know in normal course, like, oh, you know, your dad left your or excuse me, your grandfather, I guess it would be, left your mom, you know, $13,000 kind of thing, right? They wouldn't know that. They would just know whether or not they were paid for said funeral or whatever, cremation services. Okay. So we do have a very lucrative yes come out, okay? And the bottom of the deck, it does indicate calmer waters, brighter days. So what I would do is, you know, I don't know if there's other resources in the family that would ever know, like, okay, who is the records keeper in normal course for that particular relative. I don't know if the funeral home could assist you on the strength of certain like signatures, um, as to whom all the players may be. Like if this is a situation where it's like estranged family members and they don't want to give you the information kind of thing. But it does seem like some money. You know what? With this 8, this is giving me like you could find out in August, like if you just make it. Who would that be? You know what? You could even maybe check with local agencies, perhaps. I mean, I'm not a lawyer and I don't really know many aspects of estate law, but if you checked with an office that could be, depending on your area, called the Recorder of Deeds. Okay, now that usually has to do with like how, you know, like real estate. But if there was ever any kind of like real estate signed over, for instance, um, in order for like, let's say, like your dad, or excuse me, your grandfather at the time to have been like put into a nursing home kind of thing, or, you know, kind of estate law on the books, you could maybe find out some other keys to the puzzle, um, some other pieces to the puzzle. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to tell you to like bulldoze through the list of um like possibilities that it could be insurance wise. But then again, there could be some sort of like assistant type of tool online, like I said, where you can fill in the information into some form of database and get some answers there. If not, what I personally would do is I would Google or even look on like certain things like Reddit about that type of scenario, like who would you contact, etc. Because I really don't know, babe. Beyond what I've given you, I'd give you more if I had it to give. I promise. But much love and light. My goodness, to you and your mom. But you know what gives me hope is that Better Days card, right? The Six of Swords, talking about calmer waters, like, who you get to breathe. So it's like whatever like fight there is, or sacrifice or effort towards getting that information seems well worth it. I mean, because that was a big old pentacle just saying. And that ace talks about divine breakthrough assistance. So you've got assistance to get to being in alignment with that money, the way I understand it. You know what I mean? Um, okay, now let's see here. And you're very welcome, Alphonse. Thanks for showing up and for sharing. I appreciate you. And Arizona and San Diego, man, there's a lot of fun to be able to be had in both of those areas. I'm pretty sure a lot of beautiful, picturesque pictures to take too. All right, so that's what we have for Teresa then, right? And then we're still waiting for T. Love and light, Priya. Um, and so, and you're very welcome, Teresa. My goodness. You guys just keep it positive. These words are released, right? And it's like, okay, abundance. So you really would have to, when you think of money, Teresa, you can't really attach that cortisol shooting through the roof on the strength of you even thinking about money you don't have yet, right? Like in the sense of like when you think of money in general, if you have to go buy a loaf of bread, right? And it's like, oh, this is my last $5, right? You got to just be like, I am so grateful that I'm buying this loaf of bread and it feels good to buy this bread because I know it feels good to chew this bread and I know this bread nourishes my body, those that I care about. You know, like you really have to. And then on top of it, like we talk about, you know, manifestation, we talk about the law of attraction, the law of assumption. You really want to work, okay? It's like, I really already got that. Like I can see and hear and feel myself on the phone right now realizing, oh my gosh, we've just got to like send an email to such and such, or we've just got to call so and so. And that money is really a thing. Like it's come in, like it's here. It's my mom's. My mom has this money. Like we have this money. Okay. In a grateful, not desperate, exasperative, or what, I don't know what word that is. Not like you know, in a tiring, like, oh, I'm just fighting so hard to struggle to strain to try to pull this in. You've just got it, right? The word has been released that that's your mom's money. The dad left the mom the money, right? Because if you are back and forth at this, and I need you to know I'm saying this, Teresa, so that you get this, not because it's like you're the only one that would need this reminder. I'm not saying it that way, like to be clear. I am grateful for the day that you come on and you tell me I received that freaking financial breakthrough that always was yours, that always was your mother's. Okay. And I know that you can get that. I know that you can stay positive, consistent enough. I know that you can stay faith filled about this long enough. Okay. And I know that even right now, you're giving yourself permission to truthfully believe and feel it so that you can breathe to the point where you get through whatever, you know, could be hoops or hurdles, whatever you want to call them, from now until that end point. But you've got to really almost delusion yourself. Like, this is like they already call it, like the check is in the mail, kind of. Even if you don't know the how, the when, the why, the who, okay? Just do what reasonably makes sense and then rest in that yes, babe. Okay. What I mean by do what reasonably makes sense, I'm saying do the Google searches, call somebody, see what they're talking about on Reddit, right? Like call the recorder of deeds office, perhaps, right? I mean, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not giving legal or medical advice, so please don't come for me. But this is me really just trying to love and light you through this because that's what I wish I had whenever like I've been faced with, I don't know, most of my life. You know, but I'm here to be able to give it, and I'm grateful that I'm here to be able to give it. So please take that and run with it, babe. Okay, you can. I know you can. All right. Oh, really? Ooh, Fiona, I'm reading your thing about the automatic writing. I love that. Um, you're very welcome, Teresa Horton. Much love and light. And let me see here, Priya, about Seaball. Okay. And you're saying what was the time frame there? Two. Okay, no, wait. We'll see. Will contact me within these 2 weeks. Okay. Okay, let me see. Ooh. Very passionately so, perhaps, yes, but it's a yes nonetheless. King of Wands, right? And split the deck. On the bottom is Daddy God, Hierophant energy, right? And Ten of Cups. You see how happy that looks? Well, your yes was sandwiched in between all of that. I'll take the yes if you don't. No, let me stop. But that's a pretty matter of fact yes regarding Siebel, regarding sometime between now and those 2 weeks, babe. All right. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing their name, Priya. It's not intentional, all right? But that's your reading, babe. Thank you for coming on. You guys are amazing. It's so late, and I'm on here for another hour already. And I just want to say, you guys are amazing. I literally have the best collective. So sorry that I accidentally, for real, accidentally, not even accidentally on purpose, cut you out of that last session. But you know what? Maybe there is some divine timing to that because nothing just happens anyways. So I won't feel too bad. And at least we've all got something to look forward to regarding that live stream because that's probably got to look a little funny with me just talking to myself like, oh my gosh, it was literally, I think it was like 56 something, and then I noticed like, huh? Like there was, it said 0, 0, and I was like, God, is that you? Just me and God on there. That's all right. Um, but I'm so grateful for you guys, yes. But I also wanted to say thank you for sharing and updating me. There's been a few, and I wish I could actually like I think I'm gonna work on opening the community here on the YouTube, like as another aspect of the channel, so that not everybody necessarily has to go over to the Facebook group. But you guys, your girl's posting a bunch of stuff like that you need to know, should know, probably want to know, would laugh at as well, because it's quite amusing and in a healthful way over there. Please and thank you join that Facebook group. Okay, it's private for a reason. I'm very protective over my collective. Okay, ain't nobody playing over there, just like ain't nobody playing over here. Okay, but there's different things that I'm able to share and the methods that I'm able to share over there. And that's why I keep harping about that part too over on Facebook, to be clear. All right. If you're interested in any aspects of like astrology, if you're interested in information regarding crystals, regarding historical, mythological, and energetic creatures, characters, gods, goddesses. If you're interested in learning how to use some of the tools, whether they be crystals or not, definitely check that information that's really being shared. All right, and please, you're welcome to share information just the same over there. Over here, it's like once we got the chat, once we don't have the chat box, we don't really have the chat, right? Over there, that's not the case. And over there, long story short, I'm able to be much more accessible, in case anyone wondered. So just saying, you guys, just trying to make sure that there doesn't feel like this super huge disconnect just because I'm not physically on the live stream. Please and thank you for watching the videos, watching the ads on the videos, okay, because I get it, not everybody is able to, just make it rain, as it were, okay, for your girl. However, that definitely does assist with not only like financially, but really much more importantly, the mission, okay, which is to get more of the free messages out to beautiful souls like yourselves, those willing to really kind of be in it to win it. Okay, that's us. We're winners. We're the A team. All right. I literally have the best collective, hands down. That's why the numbers are what they are. I'm not here for everybody. You guys are like upper echelon, elite, top tier spiritual baddies, and ain't no shame or stigma attached to that over here. Okay. I don't know about anywhere else in the world, right? But over here, this is one of our safe spaces. But we got a couple going, you guys, and I'm just saying, different strokes for different folks. I get it. But I really want to put the word out there because I don't know if everyone's checking that box beyond the how do I get my free yes now? And I want you guys to grow along with the rest of the collective. Okay. We're gathering in different areas sometimes, and I don't mean to leave anybody out. Okay. All right. So, Love and Light A Pink. All right. And T, please check the description box. Fiona, our moderator, has asked you to do that. I've asked you to do that. Fiona, our moderator, has also been kind enough to put the link in, I think 2 times already, to to the chat box on how to get to the description box. So please, if you don't have a heart and a mind to follow the rules, don't ask again, okay? If you have a heart and a mind to follow the rules, please stop asking about your tarot reading and then instead follow them so that you can get your tarot reading, if that makes sense, okay? And hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to be clear this whole time. All right, T, thank you very much. Love and light to you, babe. And I do see that we do have A Pink asking about, ooh. Okay, let's see here. I do see soulmate energy here. Whoa. So that's a yes. Okay, let me see something really quick here, actually. We've got all yeses and one maybe regarding the cards that I'm going to talk about, and they are the Queen of Swords, the World card, the Justice card, the Ace of Cups. Is have you heard enough? That's not even all. Okay. We've got the Fool card, which brings you that maybe out of all of these yeses, and bottom of the deck is also another yes. So this could be between now in September that you guys really are next leveling what you got going on. Okay, so if this is like you know, you're not official, you could be official. If this is like you're in the friend zone, you could start dating. If this is like you've been official, this could be you've got a drawer in my bureau, in my closet kind of thing, or here's keys to my apartment kind of thing. Just, you know, take whatever the next level means for you and this person. But not only do I see you guys closing out a cycle, but I do see justice on this. Okay, and of course it's inclusive of this new aspect of love, or this very much, you know, stepping into an official capacity, and hence this supposed risky type of full behavior. But with these other cards, I don't really see any risk. So I think that's more based off of feelings or false evidence appearing real. Okay, some might call it fear. So you want to watch that, because this new path really is coming towards you. It's yours. You should own it. Okay, but not fearfully, if that makes sense. Well, that's what I have for you and your crush, babe. Okay, watch the pedestal action, you guys. You don't want to put too much pressure on that pedestal, right? You are either dating someone as equal to you as you, or you've got to think about that, you know, not actually sugarcoat what the situation really truthfully is once you see it for what it is. Okay, but you got to be willing to see it for what it is. I don't see any red flag energy sticking out, but I do see that there could be, I'm really trying to craft how I say this because I'm not trying to word curse. Just please don't be that one that accidentally, just because this is your crush, makes this person better than what they truly are, right? Because guess what? We're all somewhere on the path and we're all here growing, right? So be mindful that this person should continue to grow, maybe not in the same ways that you are growing, but they should be growing around you. Otherwise, they're stagnating what you got going on, if that makes sense, okay? So it's really good to understand that, you know, even though we talked about like, oh, this crush kind of like mirroring your energy, you need to make sure that your energy is in balance, right? Not just, oh my gosh, you know, he's so hot, my soul flutters and quivers. And if that's you, okay, I'm not saying that you should never feel or be happy. All I'm saying is be mindful to check that energy, because what you could accidentally do is self sabotage the whole entire connection. And I don't want you to do that, especially if this is a really great connection. See what I mean? So just be mindful, because also, here's the deal. Even if you're not the one that's like openly, outwardly going, oh, you're so great, you're so everything, let me tell you about all the ways that I have this crush on you kind of thing, you internally, all right, you think the divine don't know, right? And so I just don't want you to get to a point, or anybody, right, who can make sense of this, because we all got wishes, hopes, desires, and dates sometimes. I'm still claiming that one. Yeah. So yeah, dates. And then you know, so you want to do everything in balance, okay? Of course you deserve to be happy. I'm not saying it like you don't have permission to be happy. But you should be putting your best foot forward towards anything that you're doing, whether it's creating a connection, creating a foundation with someone, you know, even just to be friends, or even just to be perhaps business partners of sorts, right? There's got to be a foundation set. You don't want to set much of anything, inclusive of a pedestal, on any faulty foundation, okay? And that's what I'm getting at, long and short. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so that's what I have for you, okay? And so I do not, oh wait. Oh, thank you, Fiona. You're so sweet. Thank you, babe. Oh, keep me going for sure. Thank you guys. Thank you, Fiona, for your kindness. Cause yeah. you ever hear the phrase something to the effect of they don't look like what they've been through. It's like one of those moments on top of what already happened in the other live stream. So thank you for your love light, and just please know I am your reflection, you guys. So thank you so much, though. I do accept the compliment. Thank you for that. And thank you regarding my daughter as well. Appreciate you. And I appreciate you all, you guys. And you're very welcome, A Pink. Hopefully that made sense. And congratulations. It seems like things do really have a really good chance there. I just, I learned so many lessons the hard way, especially about love and what it is versus what it's not, what it never could be, kind of thing. And so I just personally have a passionate heart to guide others, like, hey, listen, just to be sure, because I mean, you want to talk about pedestals? I probably built some of the best, man. Oh, they sparkled too if I wanted them to, or I could shoot flames inside of it. No, I'm just joking. But I mean, I'm probably one of the most ornate pedestal builders if I want to be. But I know enough to know now I don't want to build any kind of pedestal for anyone, right? And really, the version of me now is only ever in competition with former versions of me. And maybe since this everything everywhere at once is also at play, future versions, right? It's like, oh, okay, so all right, so I see the 4.0 version of me and I raise it to the 6.1. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not done with the experience here. I mean, experience can't always be, right? Not to word curse, but you didn't come here simply and solely for that, ride down the ocean shore, okay, on two bareback horses with the love of your life. Okay, yes, that can be inclusive of the experience, but as far as like from like point A to point, end goal here, it's not just that. So it's okay if it's not always that, right? But what's not okay is to settle for never that and delusion yourself into thinking someday that. No, no, bitch, no. Okay, no, sir. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's some things just will never be what they were never. And so you guys be mindful even when you come on for these free yes nos. It's like, maybe even before you ask how someone else cares about you, ask, what the divine sees you should be working on, right? Because when you focus there, of course, you're going to get on the back end the clarity of like, wow, Jeffrey is the one, right? Sarah is the perfect match, right? But you don't necessarily get there when you're playing pedestal roulette, okay? So that's what I got to give you guys. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being amazing. And I really do want you to rest well, knowing that tomorrow the universe has every capacity and capability to show you how good it gets. You only need ask, universe, please show me how good it gets. All right. I am of a mind that each and every one of you are going to have a very brilliant, a very abundant and emotionally satisfied experience today leading into tomorrow. I have to say it that way because of the time parameters, okay? So you guys take that word that's been released and run with it because it's yours, right? Unless you're saying, no, not for me. I'm going to have a midday. I'm going to make it mundane. I'm going to hate it all over again. Kind of, and you have your free will to do that. But man, can you turn the music up when you're going through all that? Because I don't really want to hear much of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really a lower vibrational frequency than where I'm intending ever to go. And hopefully you guys are taking notes because this ain't no contest. All right. You guys, if you're rocking with me, you're with me anyhow. No contest there. All right. Let me just check before I hop off. I don't want to skip over anybody. Even if it's a mystery at the time, Fiona, so what of it if you're living your best life? How about that one, right? That's why, some of the tarot messages, I don't know if you guys noticed, I don't really do just any kind because it's like, otherwise we're staying there. where we don't want to be anyway, where we've gone already. Like, it's like, could you imagine if the divine's like, listen, you just get one vacation a lifetime? It's like, oh my God, how would you pick just the one, right? So please do not restrict the hows once you know that the words have been released, like yes, okay. Um, it's really your responsibility to take it and run with it, whether that's utilizing the law of assumption, okay, whether that's just getting grateful, okay, and expressing that gratitude towards divinity, right? Because the more that you do that, the more you're going to be given and gifted, not even blood, sweat, tearing over to then be grateful for. Just gifted, just freaking paid in full, just here you go for existing, just oh, I love you because you love you kind of thing. It's really a real um, programming that you can endure long enough to experience some of the things that you came here for. I'm so serious, you guys. And that does include love as well as money. Please believe. I love you guys so, so much. You guys are amazing. And I can't wait to hear your good news. Much love and light.